French fries aren't made in France. They're made in Greece. My name's Victor Ashley, and I'm a real estate agent out of Seattle, Washington. Feel free to leave a comment below. And if you'd like, my contact information's in the description, and feel free to use that. If you have any feedback or you have questions in the Seattle area and looking for a little support, and while you're at it, please subscribe. I appreciate your support, and hopefully you're enjoying the channel. So we're going back to our zip code reviews in the North Seattle area, and I just want to get started with this one. This is the Crownhill neighborhood, and this is 98117, and let's begin. So if you're not familiar with Crownhill, let's get a quick walk-on for you. So Crownhill is located about 8 miles north of the Space Needle. This is just north of Ballard also. This is south of Shoreline, and this is to the west of Green Lake. This is also very close and has Golden Gardens in it, as well as a couple other areas that I talk about quite a bit, and hopefully you enjoy some of the food in that area. There's a really good Cuban spot to eat. It's called Un Bien. I highly recommend it. And then at the same time, if you have more questions on the food in the area, I'm also a foodie. And just as a humble brag, I have 4 million views of my reviews on Google. So, hit me up. Yeah, so let's get started on that. Just a humble brag. So what I went in, I pulled all the sales data for the Crownhill neighborhood. And I pulled it, again, everything active, under $1 million. And this is everything that's available at the current moment. I removed the duplicates, and then I sorted this by price per square foot. And then I sorted that from highest to lowest or lowest to highest, depending on how you interpret it. I want to give you a quick rundown of what we were looking at in that area. So the cost per square foot came out to, on average, $615 a square foot. That gives us a good baseline. So now we have an idea of how much things cost on a basis of square footage. And now we can also tell what's above the average and what's below the average at that point. Now, again, the cost per square foot method doesn't really cover a lot of the upgrades that happen in some of these homes, and it doesn't really cover age. So keep in mind, it can change a little bit, just so you're aware, but this is what I use because this is a good baseline level set, just so you know how to compare houses just on the size alone. Now, the average house that was available on the market was listed for just under $805,000. It's been on the market for 57 days. It's 2.5 beds, 2 baths, and it's just under 1,400 square feet. And to give you an idea, that was on the market on average from, let me see, that's 2 months ago. So yeah, February 2nd. So I just wanted to give you a quick rundown of what that looked like. So now you know what the average house looks like. Now, to buy that average house, I went in and I figured out what it would cost to actually buy this thing. I compared with a $60,000 down payment, household income of $235,000, and low monthly debts, and your FICO range, I used right in the average range. Now, keep in mind, everybody's FICO and everybody's financial situation is completely different, but I'm using this as a good baseline just so you have an idea of what it costs to actually buy this house. Now, on the mortgage side, that came out to $5,076 a month. That was only the payment and the interest only. That was not including any kind of taxes or insurance or HOAs or special assessments that might be in this location. So now that we kind of covered that real quick, let's actually go into the affordability wise. Since the mortgage was $5,076, that's your baseline to buy it. Well, what happens if you turn around and you say, hey, Victor, that's great, I want to rent it instead? Well, to rent that, it would be $28.90 on average, because I used the cost per rent is $2.13 a square foot per month. What that comes out to is 175% higher to buy currently than to rent. This also means, though, if you bought this house in the last couple of years and you need to move from some sort of life event, and if you have a question on it, just watch this video that I made right here. that your rents would not be able to support your mortgage. And if you have questions on that, just take a look at that video again. But I covered that in depth below. So now that we have a general idea of what's available out there, let's take a look at some of the houses that are actually on the market. So let's look at number 13 first. And the reason why I'm picking number 13 is because number 13 is a brand new construction home. This new construction home is on the market for $780,000. It's been on the market for 2 days. And it's 1,200 square feet, 2 beds, and 1 3/4 bath. If you don't want to know what a 3/4 bath is, that is a bathtub. That is a bathroom that does not have a bathtub typically, because a 3/4 bath usually has a stand-up shower, a sink, and also a toilet. So now let's get into this actual home that we're looking at. And this is a little on the boxy side, but this is one of the new construction homes. So as you can tell, and if you've been watching my channel before, you're going to see a lot of the same kind of looks on the new construction homes, just so you're aware. And that's mainly because a lot of the designers and a lot of the builders, they're getting their stuff from the same information. And at the same time, a lot of the designers are the same. So a lot that you see in a new construction home or something that's freshly remodeled, you have a lot of light colors. You have tile backsplashes typically, and you usually have steel appliances. But from what I can tell on this side, this one's a little bit different. Instead of having white cabinets, this has a light oak, and then the appliances are actually white. So this one's a little bit different than what I usually see. Now, actually, when we go into the kitchen itself, I do like the large basin sink itself. We have a double oven, and then we have a matching set with the light colors and such, and a couple of built-ins in there as well. The setup, the same kind of formats going into the bathrooms. We do see a tile in the shower, and this is our 3/4 bath here, and you have a side-by-side sink right here as well. Yeah, so just in general, that was a pretty nice new home. Now let's go into one, and that was actually for $650 a square foot, just so we go back to that. Let's look at one that's been on the market now for 44 days, and it's also $649 a square foot, so it's very close to the same cost. This one is a home that has been constructed 15 years ago, and this is what we're seeing in the market right now. New homes that are being built are coming in roughly at under what the market is supporting for the existing homes. So what that means is new homes are coming in, they have very little wrong with them, and then at the same time, they have very little maintenance or upkeep because these are brand new houses, and they're coming onto the market and they're undercutting the current inventory. Inventory is what I call, and that's what any kind of real estate agent or anybody in the industry, that's what we call the homes that are available for sale, and that's what we call inventory. So this one here, it's 3 beds, 2.5 bath, just under 1,200 square feet. It's been on the market for 44 days, and this one originally was on the market for $780,000, $780,000, but now it's on for $760,000. This goes to a price square foot of $649, and let's get into the actual setup. Now, as we can tell, this is also a condo. Inside it's a little bit of a split level, so this goes straight up. More than likely, this is only 2 levels. I'm surprised that the actual photos go directly into the bathrooms, because typically you have the photos go into the kitchen or the main living space, because that's typically where people spend the most amount of time. Now going into the kitchen itself, this is actually something that we see a lot in the early 2000s to late 1990s. We have a lot of the darker woods, the black appliances, and then we have the granite with no kind of black backsplash typically. So I just wanted to give you a quick rundown on that. Yeah, but all in all, this is a decent looking house, but at the same time, this is actually on the market for the exact same price point as the new construction home. So here's the difficult part, and then you have, if these are the exact same amount of money, if these are the exact same amount on their HOAs, more than likely you're going to pick the home that is the new construction because it has less that is might be wrong with it, and it's just going to be a slightly better or more upgraded settings and fixtures. Now let's go into our last one, and this is number 15. In number 15, I picked this one because this one kind of made a little bit of sense when we looked into it. But this is, again, almost in the exact same price point. This is $785,000. It's been on for 4 days, and it's 3 beds, 2 bath, 1270 square feet. Again, we're getting into our price per square foot of $618, and all of these are coming on slightly above our market average, but this was built in 1991. So this one is now 32 years old, and let's take a look at it and see how it adds up. So on the outside, we have a double level house, and let's just begin. I do like the size of the yard. We have the horizontal fences. I have been noticing that's been more and more on point lately. And let's go on to the inside. We have some sort of hardwood press board. And then as we go into the kitchen, this is what I was talking about on the kitchen side. These are the remodels that we typically see. The only thing in this is missing is the backsplash isn't tiled all the way up, but I have been noticing it's tiling all the way up. This is white cupboards, steel appliances, and then a neutral stone colored countertop. And just so you're aware, if you're trying to do any sort of remodel in the kitchen, I'm going back to this real quick, be prepared to spend at least $5,000 to $7,000, depending on where this is at, because currently right now, a lot of the kitchen material is on back order. So kind of in conclusion, I wanted to go over again the fact that not only do we have new construction coming onto the market, it's also undercutting our current inventory in the existing homes. So if you have a home that was built, 10, 15, even 20 years ago, you're competing with a new construction home at this current price point, just so you know what we're looking at. And then at the same time, Crownhill, the averages on our days on market is around 54 days. So it's still taking a long time to close the sale and even get to the negotiating table. I have been noticing some of the homes in the area are going quicker, but those ones are being priced significantly below the current market average, and the current market average is in the low 600s. If you have any questions on this, you can reach me directly using the contact information below. And as always, it was a pleasure working with you today, and I hope you have a pleasant day.